We're all spirit. Every sentient being on this planet is spirit. It exists in my beautiful dog. It exists in the insect that's buzzing around your head at night. It exists in every single thing. When we talk about being spiritual means honouring and accepting you are spirit. It's as simple as that. Once you've made that connection, then there's no rigid rule about how to live a spiritual life. Wearing, white dress, turban on your head, eating certain food, adhering to all these rules and regulations doesn't make you spiritual. You do not need an intermediary to connect with spirit. It is a journey of reconnecting with who you are. That's the spiritual journey. For the first 33 years of my life, I struggled to determine that I was really meant to be on the earth. I wasn't brought up very religious. When I was 16, I found God. There was this beautiful church with glass windows, and I was looking out, and I could see the nature behind. And the sun was setting, and I found God there. I was like, oh, God's here. So I was religious for about a year, and then I realised that God really wasn't in the church. He really wasn't there. It was in the sunset and the nature. So I really knew that spirit was with me, whether it be within us or coming to us from outside of us. I just had complete faith. I never questioned that, ever. I was working on Cosmopolitan magazine. My editor would find me passed out on the floor in my office from pain. I started self-medicating and was arrested in Thailand for smuggling drugs and spent some time in a Thai jail. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be on the earth. I was at rock bottom. I always to this day believe that a part of me, a higher consciousness of my spirit, stepped in and convinced me that I had to stop. And I had a real will to live. I didn't know what my purpose was. I just knew that suddenly I was meant to be here. I was a journalist, so I was very sceptical. In my scepticism, I was writing a story about this retreat, and I said, I don't know about this channel. I'm not too sure about this channel. I don't think I want to do a story on her. And I'll never forget, I walked into that teepee. I thought, oh, well, I better go. We're all sitting cross-legged, waiting for her to start. And she began to channel Lord Buddha. I remember watching her for a little while and wondering where the strings were, like a puppet. I thought there must be strings attached. And I was sort of looking to see whether there was a microphone or something she was playing or something like that. And of course there was nothing. It was just her with so much frequency, so much energy. And it was the most profound experience I'd ever had in my life. For me, my personal journey was I was a very reluctant spiritual teacher. But in hindsight, I understood that for some reason I had a purpose. And this was my purpose. My life is full of many stories. The stories of being sexually molested as a 6-year-old. The story of having a hysterectomy when you're 24, which is devastating, and being sick for 10 years of your life before then, to be in such pain that you start getting addicted to using drugs. But those stories are not who I am. My response to those experiences make me who I am. Because we can spend all our life living on the earth, living through our pain. But when we make a choice to live through our potential, our life becomes such a blessing. And so this is not a story of victimhood. This is a story of facing challenges in your life and really coming out the other side. If we get too caught up in the darkness, we can't see the light. And when we can't see the light, we need to find someone else who can see it for us and show us the way forward. So when you can't see the light, find someone who can see the light for you and show you the other side. And believe them, because it does exist.